Hi, I'm Clara, and today I'll be talking about the passive periphrastic. The passive periphrastic expresses obligation or necessity. The literal translation is, it must be X'd. And sometimes there's a person who must do the action, and then it must be X'd by the person. When there is a person, the more simple translation that sounds better in English is the person must X. The passive periphrastic is formed by the future passive participle, also called the gerundive, and the verb sum, or esse, or whichever form is needed to correctly conjugate the verb. Adding a dative person such as me, he, or Tibby makes the passive periphrastic switch from being it must be X to it must be X'd by the person, and then to the person must X. It also takes dative of agent, and so whatever person is meant to do the action takes on the dative case. But since it is dative of agent, a preposition is not needed in this formation. The gerundive is the form of the verb in the passive periphrastic formation, and it is also called the future passive participle, and it is a verbal noun. It is formed by using the present stem and adding an nd, and then the endings us, and then it's declined just like a first and second declension adjective. An example of this formation is nobis currendum est. This literally translates to, it must be run by us. This is an example of one with a person because of the nobis. And then, since there's a person and it doesn't sound quite right as it must be run by us, we can approximate it to a better English translation, which is we must run. Okay, another example is mihi fugiendum est, which means it must be fled by me, literally. But just like the last one, we can approximate it to a better English translation, which is I must flee. One example without the person at the beginning is faciendum est, which just means it must be done. But we can see how easily it can be the person who must do the action can be added on, because in the next one it's mihi faciendum est, and that means it must be done by me, which means I must do it. I'm sorry, that should be done, not fled. Okay, so thank you.